Wolf.
Dana, thanks very much. Good report. Let's dig even further with General Wesley Clark, retired NATO Supreme Allied Commander. With NATO now in charge, will it automatically be less robust, those coalition airstrikes, as opposed to when the U.S. was in command?
No, I don't think it'll make any difference, Wolf, in the robustness. But
when you say that, let me interrupt, General, because you got Turkey, you got Germany, you got some NATO allies that don't want this to be very robust, and NATO has to be responsive to them.
Well, those are policy calls. They will be made through NATO, and NATO will be responsive. But I suspect that the meeting in Europe and the broader political effort will guide NATO to be just as robust as the coalition would have been in the days going forward.
So in other words, what we're seeing right now, a setback for the rebels. Some are already suggesting, you know what, with NATO taking charge, Gaddafi's troops are emboldened. They're really going after the rebels, and that's why the rebels are being set back in various places on this day. Do you see a correlation between NATO's taking over and the new setbacks the rebels are facing?
No, none. But I do see a correlation with the weather. And I understand there was cloud cover in Libya today, and that cloud cover increases the risk for the airmen. And one of the commanders probably said there's a minimum altitude we're going to stay above, and we're not going to go below that altitude. That's typical of the way we operate. We stayed above 20,000 feet in Kosovo, and when it was cloud covered, we weren't as effective in spotting targets on the ground.
But we're also seeing some low-level flying from A-10s, from C-130 gunships, and you fly those planes a lot lower than the F-16s.
You can. We didn't in Kosovo. It depends really on your assessment of the AAA threat, and maybe there are places in Libya where the assessment is that it's still dangerous. They do have man-portable systems and some vehicle-mounted systems that are dangerous to our A-10s and AC-130s.
Would it make sense for the coalition to start arming the rebels?
I think that we've got to get the politics right before we start putting weapons in there, Wolf. So I think the question is, you know, who are the rebels? Do they have a government? What do they stand for? What gives them legitimacy? Have they been recognized by many states? Does the United States recognize them? And if so, what's their program? And then in the context of that, I think there could be a case made. But right now, I don't think there's a case based on international law or legitimacy for arming the rebels. It looked like an easy win against Gaddafi. And now people want to throw chips on the pile and keep raising the stakes. But I think, you know, we're a nation of law. We have to proceed step by step. It's not a foot race. Gaddafi's not going anywhere except where we want him to. It may take 6 weeks. It may take 6 months. If it takes a year, that's okay. Gaddafi's going to go. But what do we stand for as the United States and with our allies? Don't we stand for the rule of law? And if so, let's proceed step by step on this. It's not about tactical setbacks. It's really about the vision of the new Middle East going forward.
General Clark, thanks very much.
Thank you.